guys, got a video that I've been really excited to finally be able to put together for you guys. Today we're going to be doing a review on Toyota's brand new 2019 RAV4. It's the Adventure model. So yeah, without further ado, here we go. All right guys, here we have it. Like I said a second ago, this is Toyota's all new 2019 RAV4. This is the brand new redesign that they did. They implemented this all new global design or global architecture platform, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, man, it's a home run hit, man. They hit this one out of the park. This is the Adventure model, and I think that, you know, for those of you who have kind of followed Toyota over the years, they've sort of always had sort of a reputation of being, you know, reliable cars, but kind of boring. And that's something that the CEO said that because he's a car guy, and he never wanted them again to be mentioned that way. So got with his engineers, got with their design team, and you know, this is a byproduct of their efforts. And like I said a second ago, I think it's a home run, man. I think that you can definitely see from the front all the way to the back the definite more aggressive approach that they've taken with this design. And I think it's something that's going to appeal to a lot of people, especially for those of us who have sort of you know, we like to do things outdoors. I think that that's definitely who they're going for with this trim level. As I said a second ago, this is the Adventure trim. It's going to compete with, I think it's going to compete with like the Cherokee, the Trailhawk. It's not as off-road capable, but I think that it depends on what your off-road intentions are. It's not a rock crawler by any means, but it's definitely off-road capable. And then I think that if you even take it a step further and throw some all-terrain tires on there, these tires that we've got right now are the Toyo A39 Open Countries. Really, really good design, really, really good tire for, you know, your city driving, for some light off-road driving, maybe just some gravel, you know, or light, you know, dirt or whatever. But it's definitely, if you're planning on taking a trip with your family, camping or something like that, and you're gonna be hitting some, you know, some really non-aggressive trails and things like that, this is definitely more than capable of handling those kinds of trails. We've also got the 19-inch rim, and I really like what they've done with the black and silver, or black and gray design. I think it's grown on me. I didn't know how I was gonna like it at first. Initially, when I saw it on there, when they released the RAV about a year ago, wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it, because a lot of times things don't come across on film the way they do in person, but seeing it in person is a home run, man. So kudos to Toyota. I think you guys did a great job on this design. You can also see here on the front fender that we've got the plastic molding. You've also got the black plastic cladding or molding on the front. You've also got down below, you've got this silver accenting. It's non-functional, so it's not, you know, a skid plate or anything like that. For those of you who really take it, you know, super off-road and you're gonna need skid plates and things like that, but that's definitely something that you can do aftermarket. This is more for the look, but it's something that I definitely think looks good. It adds to the sort of aggressive masculine appeal that they were going for. And yeah, I think, you know, also up here you've got the LED headlights. You've got standard LEDs across the board, I think. I know you've got standard LEDs on the upper trim levels, the Adventure, the Hybrid, but I'm not quite sure it's standard across the board, but I do know that it's standard on all of the Adventures. So any of you guys out there, or any of you ladies out there, you know, interested in this model, it's going to come standard with the LEDs. Then down below, you've got the halogen fog lamps. You can upgrade to the LEDs. I've been checking out Toyota's accessory page, and they do offer an LED upgrade on the fog lights. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's definitely something that you can do. You can see as I'm going around, we've got more of the plastic cladding, more of the plastic design, or more of the plastic molding, you know, and then we've got more of that down here below. And that really also adds to the off-road appeal, because a lot of times when you're off-road or when you're going through mud or when you're going through something like that, you don't want the paint necessarily to be affected. You don't want it to, because mud and things like that can sort of eat away at your paint over time, versus with this, you're not going to have that problem at all. You know, this is something that stands up really well to mud and dirt. I'm out here in the desert and it gets super dirty. I actually just washed it yesterday, but I've driven it for a week. I bought it about a week ago, and yeah, this is something that stands up really well to the dirt and the you know, elements. You can see here's the view from the rear, and as you know, again, you can see they've continued with the more aggressive stance. I don't think it's as aggressive from the rear, but I think it works. You know, it fits. It's all about balance. I don't think you want to go overly aggressive, but I think it's got the right amount or the right level of aggressiveness to it. You can also see here that we've got the RAV4 emblem. The RAV part is kind of grayed out, and then the 4 is like a lighter gray. I do know that they offer a kit. You know, it's a blackout emblem kit, overlay kit, where you can actually completely black that out, and then you can also black out the Toyota emblem. And that's something that they sell on their website. I've seen it on websites for as little as like 85 bucks, and it's just basically something that fits over these emblems, and it's, you know, it sticks. It's got like the 3M tape on the back or whatever, but it looks like factory. Once you install it, it looks like it came from the factory that way. But that's something that you can definitely do if you're interested in going for the all black on black look. And then here you've got the Adventure tag, or the Adventure emblem. You're following it on around. We've got more of the plastic cladding or plastic molding accents, and yeah, so let's go ahead. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, you've also got the LED turn signals on your side mirrors, and that's something that comes in really handy from a visibility standpoint. People, you know, people who are next to you can always see what you're doing. And then also up top you've got the black roof rails. These are also plastic, but they're really sturdy, really durable. Something that I feel like is going to come in handy for a lot of people. They do offer this with the crossbars, and I actually purchased the crossbars separate because I'm just going to install them myself. It was a little bit more to get, you know, to get them with the hey guys, crossbars. So I'm not a big analytics guy, so hopefully you're not too hard on me in terms of my assessment on what's under the hood. But you know, as far as what I can remember based on reading the spec sheet, you've got an inline 4-cylinder engine under here. Gives you about 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. If you're just, you know, an average Joe, an average Jane who's out here on the roads, you want something that's powerful, you know, we want something that's adequate. I think that this is more than adequate, especially when you take into account the fact that this car only weighs a little over 3,000 pounds. I think 3,300 pounds. So I mean, it's super light for what it is. It's a crossover utility vehicle, but at the same time, you know, I think that people use these in the same way that they use bigger SUVs. Now, you can't haul as much on the inside just because of the weight restrictions, but in terms of functionality, you know, crossover is the equivalent. So to have a crossover that you're going to be hauling stuff in, you're going to be putting your kids in here, stuff like that, their soccer equipment, their football, baseball, basketball equipment, all of their stuff you're going to be sticking in the car. Like I said, this car only weighs about 3,300 pounds, which is super light. I had a sedan before I got this one, Mazda 6, and it weighed about 3,400 pounds. And so just to do a comparison, I couldn't put nearly as much stuff or people in that as I can in this. And so from a functionality standpoint, to have a crossover that's got about the same amount of horsepower and torque as that, as a matter of fact, this has more horsepower than that, and that's a pretty peppy car. It's not an RS5 or anything like that. You know, it's not going to win any awards for racing, but it's got pep. you know, and I think that this engine is more than adequate. A lot of people want Toyotas to kind of switch to like a turbo. I think that over time, turbos have kind of proven to be problematic because they develop a lot of issues down the line. And I think that Toyota, they want to maintain an if it's not broke, don't try to fix it mentality. And I think that's the reason why they've sort of stuck to the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and haven't switched over to you know, a turbo or anything like that. So I think it's more than adequate. Like I say, I'm not the speediest driver in the world, so if you're a speed demon, I think that you can put this in sport mode and you can really still have a lot of fun. It's got really fun driving dynamics. Like I say, I'm coming from a Mazda 6, and those are known to be fun driving cars, and I don't see a lot of drop off between that and this and its performance. But yeah, I think that this is a more than adequate engine. So for those of you guys who are considering this, don't get hung up on numbers. I just thought I'd throw that out there because a lot of people do. They get hung up on numbers and they see that, oh, it doesn't have a turbo, it doesn't have a supercharger, it's not a racing machine. Go to a dealership and test drive one of these. Put it in sport mode and drive it the way that you normally drive, and I guarantee you'll be impressed. Like I say, if you're a race car driver or someone like that, then you might not be. But for the rest of us who are just out here, you drive to work, you drive home, you drive your kids to practice, you take the occasional weekend road trip and things like that. This engine is more than adequate. And like I say, I challenge you guys to head on over to one of your local Toyota dealerships, test drive one of these, and if you just want to compare it, go test drive something else. Go test drive a CR-V or a CX-5 or a Cherokee or any of those, and I guarantee you this one will hold its own. Like I say, if you put them in a drag race, I don't think it'll win any drag races. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely think that this more than holds its own. And I do. I just think that it's a really capable, quick, lightweight, crossover. So yeah, that's just kind of my take on the engine. So let's head on over and continue to check out the rest of the car. All right, y'all, here we have the dash. It's the digital dash in the center, and then you've got the analog dash on the sides. So on the left where you see the right where the RPM meter is, that's analog, and then on the right where you've got the fuel gauge and then also the temperature gauge, that's analog. But then in the center you've got the digital gauge, and you can actually change what you're looking at. Right now I've got it set to show us the digital speedometer, and then I've also got it set to show us the speed limit. When I change that back, that's something that automatically shows up on the new RAVs. I'm not sure they've carried it over into any of their other vehicles, but I know they have it on, standard on all of the RAV4s. It's one of Toyota's new safety features. That's a part of their new safety suite. It's called road sign detect, and what it is you've got sensors or cameras on the outside of the car that actually detect road sign. I've only been able to get to detect like speed signs, but whenever you pass a speed sign, it'll essentially remember that speed sign, and as soon as you pass it, in the top left corner over there where you see that white box, it will actually show you the speed limit wherever you are. And that's something that you never really know you missed it, or you never really know how beneficial something like that can be until you have it. And now it's just like, man, I don't see how I ever did without this. Because those times when you're riding along and you don't remember what the speed limit is where you are, and then you feel like you might be speeding or whatever. With this, that's never the case, because it always detects the speed limit sign wherever you are. And it's something that I feel like is kudos to Toyota for thinking of that, because that's something that really has come in handy over my past week of driving. Taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got all of your different settings. We've got the cruise control here. That's something that I didn't mention. We've got radar cruise control in this car, and for those of you who aren't familiar with radar cruise control, it essentially you can set the speed, but then you can set a following distance according to whomever is in front of you. So if you're going on a long road trip and you want to set like a 2-car distance between you and the next person, but you kind of want to draft off of them, for those of you, who are familiar with racing, it's kind of the same. You can set like a 2-car limit or a 2-car length limit, and it'll basically maintain that distance. And so you don't ever have to worry about, oh, if they slow down, I've got to slow down. The car's going to automatically adjust to whatever they're doing. So I'm not sure that's 100% accurate, but based on my understanding, that's pretty much the way it works. And it's something that I feel that I'm definitely eager to try out. Down here, you've got your mode button, and you can just change the different modes that the car is in. Right here, you've got your lane keep assist, and essentially what that does is it keeps you in the center of the lane. I know that this also has steering assist, and what that does, it just kind of maintains your, because with lane keep assist, it pretty much keeps you in the center. It keeps you in the lane, but with the steering wheel assist, it also keeps you in the center of the lane. So instead of just sort of ping-ponging or bouncing back between lines, this keeps you in the center of the lane. That's your distance control or whatever, for when you want to maintain a certain distance between you and the car in front of you. Over here, you've got your Bluetooth button, you've got your back button for changing. Up here on the screen, you can actually change what shows up on your screen. Let's see if we can't show you. We can change it. That's a message. I've not really played around with it that much yet, but like if you're gonna get an oil change or a tire rotation or something like that, you can program it into the car to remind you when that's coming up. So that's a really good feature to have. You can also, we've got the digital display. Trying to get it to focus. I may need to change directions in order to show you guys this, because I think the sun is sort of affecting how the camera is able to focus. Actually, here, let's try something. I'm gonna try blocking out the windshield. Okay, great. Sorry, that's probably not the most aesthetically pleasing solution, but they definitely do come in handy for now, especially while I'm shooting this video. So you can see here, this is Toyota's multi-information display, or MID for short, I think is what they call it. I got the upgraded Intune audio suite, and essentially what that is, it gives you the updated JBL speakers. I've got 11 JBL speakers throughout the cabin, and then it also gives you the 8-inch display. I think standard it comes with the 7-inch display, so I opted for that as an upgrade. I also got the sunroof, and I'll show you that in a second. But with the updated display, like I said, you get the 8-inch screen. Here's some of the buttons. You've got the home button, and then you've also got the menu button, the audio button, the map button, which just controls the navigation. I mean, if you want to get into the navigation, I personally use Google Maps just because I've gotten used to it. I might mess around with the navigation system here just to see how good it is and see how it compares to Google Maps or Apple Maps. And then over here, you've got the seek button for your radio. You've got the track if you want to change tracks. You've got the phone button for when you're wanting to place calls. You've also got apps. It's their app suite. I've not played around with that enough to be able to give you really good explanation on exactly what that is, but you can definitely research what that is, exactly. Down here, we've got the tune and scroll knob, and then over here you've got the power and the volume knob. Something that I really like about it, specifically for the Adventure model. I'm not sure how I feel about it on some of the other trims, and I don't even know if it's the same. I'm pretty sure it is though, but Toyota went with a rubber coating on the knobs. I think you can see that, but it's got a rubber coating on these knobs, and that really adds to the sort of rugged outdoor appeal that they're going for in this trim level. I think that a lot of people are really gonna like that. They're really gonna enjoy that, especially around this way where you've got a lot of outdoor enthusiasts. They continued that onto their climate control knobs. Down here you do have dual zone climate control, so you've got, if you're in the passenger seat, you can control the temperature on your side. There's the another temperature control knob. It's also cladded in rubber. Really like that. Kudos Toyota. I've not really shown you the orange accenting. You've got orange accenting on the material that they've used. you've got a really soft text material that they used on the seats, but then they also used it on the dash. You've got, you know, more of a hard plastic up here, which is nice. It fits, adds to the ruggedness. But then down here, like I said before, you've got this really soft touch material, and then you've got the orange accenting it. You know, I think that's great. Really adds to the outdoor, you know, appeal and the rugged appeal that they're going for. Here's the driver's side door. On the handle, you've got more of that rubberized material on the inside of the handle, so it really gives it more of a rugged feel. There's your door handles, your window up down, your lock button, your mirrors control, door handle and your lock button. And then over here you've got another little compartment, and then it's got this rubberized material in here, so if you need to stick a phone or anything in there and you're worried about it like sort of sliding around, it's not gonna slide around in here. I've stuck my phone in there, I've stuck my keys up in there, and they do a pretty good job of staying put. So great job, Toyota, on that. Down here you've got more of the same, and then you've also got a USB port there. You've got your electric port. sorry again, but if you want to plug in, you know, anything, like if you've got a, you know, vacuum cleaner or something you want to use in here, or anything that needs to, it's just another electrical outlet, and I forgot the proper term for it, so forgive me for that. Down here you've got more of the, you know, rubberized material. You can see I've got my phone stuck in there. They've got a package where you can actually add the wireless, the Qi wireless charging port down here, and you can just stick your phone there and it'll charge it. I didn't opt for that. I actually opted out of that, but yeah, they do offer that as an option. Here are your controls, and these are those modes that I was talking about before. You've got your eco mode, you've got your normal mode, but then over here you've got a sport mode that actually it helps the car to drive a little bit more aggressively. You, in layman's terms, don't have to give it as much gas in order for it to go. Right here you've got your hill descent control, and that's if you're ever doing any light off-roading or anything like that and you're not completely comfortable, you know, descending the hill. You can actually push that button and it'll assist you as you're going down the hill. I've seen videos of it on YouTube. I've not tested it out just because I haven't had a need for it, but I'll definitely test it out at some point and show you guys exactly how it works. Here's your snow mode. For those of you guys who live in areas that are prone to snow, I live in Arizona, so I may use that if we ever go up to the mountains or something like that in the winter months, so stay tuned for that. We'll see. The shifter, not crazy about the piano black material that they used here. I've kept the plastic on there so far, and I might, you know, hear it, you know, forever. I'm not sure, but piano black is prone to like scratching and fingerprinting and stuff like that, and I'm just not crazy about it when it gets that way, so I may leave the plastic on there or go buy something else, you know, in order to stick on top, sort of a screen protector like material in order to stick on top of there, and, you know, kind of keep that from being damaged over time, because I definitely plan on keeping this for a really long time. You'll notice on your shifter you've got the leather or faux leather material. Here are your cup holders. You've got two, you know, decent sized cup holders. They're not oversized, but I mean, I'm figuring anything that's probably in a 32 ounce or smaller should fit in there. Here's your center console. It's got more of this soft text material. You can look down in there and see you've got a ton of space. You've got another couple of USB ports in there. I've got my phone charger and, you know, some other stuff in there. Here's the soft text material. Haven't had a chance to show you guys the seats yet, but the seats are definitely bolstered. They hug you really well, and they are extremely comfortable. Here, let me grab my glasses out of the way, but they're extremely comfortable. I really like the orange accenting that they did on the seats. It really adds to the rugged look. These seats, they're not leather. I think of materials like this, I think of brands like Nike, you know, sort of with sort of the sporty materials that they use, and that's sort of the best explanation that I could find to kind of explain what this feels like. Some people say it feels sort of like a leatherette material. I don't really think so. I think it feels sort of like a, you know, just a sporty material. It's the kind of material that if you spill something on it, you just, you know, it'll wipe right off. And I really like that they went that approach. They didn't stick to the standard cloth or leather. They really went off the beaten path. And I really like this material. It's super soft, super durable, seems like. And it's something that I think is gonna hold up really well over time. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop around back and show you guys what it looks like from the back seat. Okay guys, hopping into the back seat here. I forgot to mention a second ago, I've actually got the all-weather mats in my car. I wasn't crazy about it initially. I wanted the regular mats just because I feel like they're more comfortable. But after I've had a chance to actually try these out, I definitely am glad I stuck with these and didn't change, because they're really durable, really easy to clean, and something that I feel like also adds again to the rugged look. Here you see in the back seat, you've got the seat belts here, and you've got this little, it's like a little indention right there, and the seat belt just kind of follows along that, and that comes in really handy when you go to let down the seat belt, you know, stays in place. So that's a feature that I really like. Here also on the back seat, it's got a reclining feature, so you can push that button and the seat will actually recline. You can see there that it's reclined back a little bit further than that one. And it's something that you can just kind of change if you don't want it reclined. I think it's got 3 different settings, but yeah, you can change that. That's a really cool feature that I like that they added to this model. Hopping on in, I'll go ahead and show you guys what the legroom situation is like. I am, you know, 5'8" with shoes on, about 5'7.5" with no shoes on, and I've got the driver's seat set to my setting, my driver setting, and you can see I've easily got 10 inches, 12 inches between my knees and the seat. I mean, you've got loads of space back here. I mean, you've got tons and tons of space. You've also got, I like that they went with the rear vents. I've got a dog. We've got a dog, and we take her on a lot of trips and things that we go on, and she actually can benefit from these because of the fact that the air, and you know, when it gets colder in the, you know, winter months, the heat will actually blow directly on her. So we're not having to depend on putting the front vents on full blast in order for her to, you know, get cooled off or warmed up. And that was a really good idea by Toyota. I know they probably weren't thinking about dogs when they designed it that way. They were just thinking about rear passengers, but it's something that really does come in handy. You can see down below, you've got another couple of USB ports down there. That's something that'll come in handy for your rear passengers if they ever need to charge their phones or their iPads or computers or whatever. They can just plug them in right there and they're all set. And then you know, on the passenger side, I've got my backpack and my water bottle over there, but that's you know, sort of the view that you have over there. You've got tons of space back here. This is what it looks like from the back seat. And yeah, man, I really think they did a good job with the amount of space. I forgot to show you guys, you've got the sunroof. Didn't opt for the panoramic sunroof. I initially thought I wanted the pano sunroof. Kind of glad I didn't go for that, just because you know, I don't know. I'm satisfied with the standard sun, moon roof, whatever they want to call it. I think it's really nice. For those of you that are worried about the sun like beating down on you and things like that, it is tinted. I don't know if it comes from the factory that way or if they did it aftermarket, but it is tinted. Back here you can see the other speakers. You've got a speaker on this door, and then you've got a speaker on the passenger side door. Again, these are the updated JBL speakers that I opted for. You've got a cup holder here, or a bottle holder, actually, I think is what these are intended for, because you don't want to put like a big gulp or anything like that in there. It might explode, and you've got drink all over the place. But if you do that, this Softex material will come in great as far as being able to clean it up. So let's head on back to the rear, and I'll show you guys what it looks like back there. Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna go ahead. You've got a button under here that you hold, and when you hold it, you can see you've got the electronic gate or electronic hatch or whatever. It goes up, and then that gives you, you know, really good view. I opted for the all-weather matte package. Back here you've got your JBL subwoofer on this side if you opt for the JBL package. I think if you don't, you just get a little bit more, like an inch more of storage space that way. You've got your fuse box there. Over here you've got a light that I'm actually going to change out all of the interior lighting to LEDs. I just haven't been able to find any bulbs. Over here you've got an 120 volt 100 watt outlet, which comes in really handy for those of you guys who might camp or are interested in doing any tailgating. I've never seen that on a car. Maybe you have it on like Jeeps or, you know, things like that, but I've never personally seen it. And then over here you've got your other outlet. So really good job Toyota for putting, you know, sufficient outlets on the car. Over here you've got more cargo storage space. You can put stuff in there and it's netted off so stuff won't be sliding all over the place. And then under here you've got, let's see, you've got your rear storage as far as your spare tire and jack. Good job Toyota for not aiming for, or not going with just like a flat repair kit or something like that. I think a lot of people are just old school and they really do want to have just a spare tire. I was gonna show you guys, you can actually take this mat out if you don't opt for the all-weather package. You can actually, this is carpeted on the top, but then let's see if I can show you guys. On the bottom, it's actually a hard material, and there's actually another little latch for you to pull up on. This is completely reversible. So if you ever want to take this completely out, as a matter of fact, let's see if we can just go ahead and do that. I want to do that for you guys and show you guys exactly how it works. So yeah, give me 1 second. Okay guys, here we go. So yeah, like I was saying a second ago, you can actually take this and it is actually reversible. And I wasn't sure if when the guy showed me that initially, he was kind of just like finagling or whatever, but then I discovered that you've also got a built-in latch here. So it was designed that way. So this is actually hard on this side. So if there's ever anything that you want to put in there and you don't want to mess up the carpet or whatever, you can actually just flip this over and bam, you've got the hard on, you know, the hard part on this side. So I feel like that was a great idea by Toyota to do that, because it enables people to not have to depend on buying the all-weather mats, but they can still get sort of the all-weather feature without having to mess up their carpet or, you know, the carpet side. You can just flip it over, and it was designed that way. Here's your sort of security, I don't know what you call these, but it's just the security shield that you pull back. I forgot exactly what it's called, but you pull back on this and it just latches into place, and it essentially hides your stuff. When you put the latch down, you can't see down in there. So if you've ever got any valuables, you go shopping, you want to put your bags in the back, you don't want anybody to be able to look in your window and see, you just pull that back and it locks into place. Really good idea by Toyota. You can actually take it out. I'm not going to do it right now, but you can actually take this out. It's really easy. Just take it out and it stores right across there. There's a spot for it and it'll actually just store right there. So, you know, great job Toyota of your overall design. As far as space goes, I've not really been giving you guys any numbers. I'm not a big numbers guy. I think that the rear in here, you've actually got about 38.7, I think almost 39 cubic feet of cargo space. And then you can actually come around to the front if you want, and you can let the seats down and you've got that much more. I think total you've got maybe, I don't want to give you guys the number. Look up the number and see, but the seats actually do decline. All right, they actually do go all the way down on both sides. Here, I'll hop around to the other side and show you guys, because I do want you to be able to see it in full effect. So yeah, let's go ahead. And I like the ease with which a lot of times you have to go around to the back and loosen something. You know, they didn't design it that way. It's just got the latch on the back seat. Pull the latch, goes down, and you can see man, you've got a ton of cargo space if you ever need to put anything big back here. As far as the cargo load capacity or whatever, I think I read that it's like 900 pounds, which isn't overwhelming, but I think it's, you know, sufficient. And, you know, for all of you guys who might get out on the water and things like that, it's got a 3,500 pound tow capacity. And for those of you guys who might have a boat or a jet ski or something like that that you want to tow along and bring along, this car weighs, I think, about 3,500 pounds, give or take, you know, 100 pounds. And you can essentially tow another one of these. I think all you'd have to do is go and have you a hatch installed, but 3,500 pound towing capacity. I think the other RAV4s, all of the other trim levels, have a 1,500 pound towing capacity, but with this one they opted for the 3,500 pounds, and that's huge. I don't know any other crossovers in the class that will actually tow that much. So for those of you guys who are sort of cross-shopping this against, you know, the Honda CR-V or the Mazda CX-5, make sure you do your homework and figure out exactly what their numbers are on their towing capacity, because I do know for a fact that this one is, you know, got a 3,500 pound limit. So if you got a boat, you know, if you've got things like that you want to kind of haul, you can definitely do that with this, as long as it's not, you know, big, huge boat or something like that. But, you know, man, that's pretty much my take. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything put back together, go ahead and get the cargo area squared away. But yeah, let me just show you guys the hatch going down. Some people complain about the speed. I don't really care. You know, I'm not the guy who's gonna sit there with a stopwatch in time. Oh, it takes 1.8 seconds and, you know, the competitors are 1.2 seconds. Like, that doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is functionality, and I think that Toyota hit a home run with this from a functionality standpoint. They couldn't have done a better job at the design. It looks really tough, looks really rugged. For those of you guys who, you know, in the past have enjoyed the Jeep Cherokees and things like that, I definitely think that if you're in the market, you should at least give this a look and give this some consideration, because they did do a good job across the board. As far as the ground clearance, it's got 8.6 inches of ground clearance, which is more than sufficient for any light off-roading that you guys might do. So yeah, kudos to Toyota, great job on the design. And yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the videos. If you would like me to shoot more videos like this, definitely leave the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and definitely subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be doing more. I'm not a car enthusiast, I'm just a regular dude, regular guy. So apologize if I've not gotten all the numbers and all of the analytics correct, but I just think from a functionality standpoint, you can't go wrong with this car, man. It looks really good, drives really well. I'll have to do another video where I give you guys my driving impressions, but so far I've been thoroughly impressed. I think it does a really good job on the road, and based on the videos and evidence that I've seen, it seems like it's going to do a really good job off-road also. Like I say, it's definitely not a rock crawler or anything like that. For those of you who are serious off-road enthusiasts, this might not be, you know, in your wheelhouse. But for those of you who just, like I say, you like to camp, you like to get outdoors, and you want to have something that you feel like supports that sort of a lifestyle, I definitely feel like from a reliability standpoint, you can't go wrong with Toyota. And now from a design standpoint, they've picked up their game, man. They've really upped the ante, and I really do have an appreciation for what they've been able to do with this model. So again, like I said, please like the video if you've enjoyed it. Comment on anything that you feel like I might have left out or anything that I could have done better. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Gonna be doing a lot more videos like this, and definitely appreciate those of you who've supported me up to this point. So yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day and enjoy it. So until next time, deuces.